Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Flawless Shanzi, and today, I'm going to record a different type of video, I guess. So today is February 2nd, and a lot of people may not know this. A lot of people in my family and out of my family may not know that I was diagnosed with cancer in 2012. So I'm going to tell that story today. So with me here, I have my best friend Shay.
Hi guys.
And she's going to be doing my hair in a bit to me telling the story. But I thought, so today marks 6 years cancer free, so I figured it would be a nice time to tell the story. Yeah. Okay, I don't know where to start. Like, I know where to start, but I just don't know where to start.
Start from the beginning.
Exactly. So, my hair. I can't really see it.
Okay, baby.
No. That'll be a whole different story. So, that was 2009. So, okay. I'm going to start from, like, I guess you could say, call this the beginning. I'm going to say, so, like, let's start from 2012. I went on this trip, and I was in Atlanta, I was on a conference in Atlanta, and I wasn't feeling good. And I didn't know, like, I was in pain pretty much. I knew I was in pain, but I was, like, going through, like, pains, like, for, like, probably, like, I'm going to say it was going on for a while. I'm going to say longer than, like, 6 months or so. But I was enduring it. And I was enduring it because it wasn't, like, nothing that was, like, out of the ordinary. And I think when I thought about it, I was thinking, like, oh, maybe it's, like, cramps or something. But I wasn't, like, I was never the type of person who had, like, menstrual pains or stuff like that, or regular menstrual cycles. So I didn't think anything of it, to be honest. When I came back from Atlanta, I went to the hospital that same day because I didn't feel good. And then I wound up getting admitted to the hospital and getting a surgery done. And it was like, oh, well, there's this mass on your uterus. We're just going to look at it. But 9 times out of 10, you're fine. We're pretty sure it's benign. This is like what the doctors are telling me, what they're saying when I'm in the hospital. And I think they said to make you feel better about the situation that you're in, even if you know or not knowing. There was like a lot of surgeries done. I think I was there maybe 2 days or so. And they said, oh, we're going to, we'll let you know. This is just, well, we did find this mass. There's nothing to be worried about. You should be fine. They kind of like really like, and I think the idea of this so that I wouldn't be alarmed. And they kind of like assured me like, yeah, like this is happening, but you're fine. Like, it's okay. And I didn't think too much of it. I think that, I'm in the hospital, whatever. They did the surgery. They ran some tests. They told me they'll just, and they let me go. So I left the hospital. I was still in a bit of pain, and I was thinking, like, I didn't really, like, overthink it too much, I think, because of how sure they sound when I was there. It sounds so bad. They sound so sure. So I just, in my head, I'm thinking, like, oh, well, maybe I'm fine. I didn't really think too much of it, but I still was enduring these pains and having, like, the same kind of, like, I guess you could say, like, menstrual flow I was having, but I never had regular, like, menstrual cycles, so I never thought about it, ever. Like not getting my first one until I was like, I think 17 or so. I didn't think like twice about it. So at the time, I think I was 21, something like that, 21. So, and I had took like, what was it, like semester or two? I was a semester or two off of school, so I was home. I was intending on going back to school the next semester in January. That was my intended. Like, I was intending on going back to school. My new semester was starting. I was really excited about it because I was out of school the semester before, and I'm like, oh well, I'm getting everything prepared. I'm doing everything I needed to do for me to go back to school this semester. Like, it was just, I wasn't like, I was preparing myself for that chapter. And mind you, I was going to school 5 hours away, so I was preparing to like pretty much leave the city. So in the midst of that, I said, let me just schedule an appointment for the doctor's office before I go, so that I could just check to make sure everything's okay. I didn't hear anything back from any doctor. I didn't hear anything negative back. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe this is just fine. Like, maybe everything's okay, because I didn't hear anything back that was like, will put it in a negative light for me to think that something was wrong. So the semester was starting on like the 25th, I believe, and my appointment was the 21st of January. So I go to the doctor's, and and I'm sorry for laughing. This is just like, yeah, like I can't. I guess it's emotional in a way, because like just knowing what I've been through and knowing what happened and knowing like the process of everything that was going on and what I was being told. And I'm laughing to kind of get through the idea of like, you might cry, sis. Like, so I'm just trying to like, but so I go to the hospital, go to my doctor's appointment. I'm in the, there's like an OB office. I'm sitting on the thing or whatever, and this doctor comes in. This little tiny Hispanic doctor comes in, and she's reading this chart. And she opens the chart up, and I'm sitting like on the what are they called, like the hospital thing. I'm sitting on the thing this way. I'm facing this way. The door is right here. So she's coming in this way, and she's looking at the chart. She looked at me, and she looked over. She says, "Oh, they didn't tell you?" Now, pause. So, go back. She walked in, looked at the chart, looked up at me and said, "Oh, they didn't tell you?" Those were her exact words of how I found out. And I said, "Tell me what?" She goes, "Oh, you have cancer."
Who says that shit? I would have punched her in the mouth.
Then she says, "I'm going to let you process that and I'll be back." And she left.
"Oh, you have cancer?" Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like that.
"Oh, you have cancer?"
"Oh, you have cancer." Just like so nonchalant. And then she left.
That's my fist in your face.
She left. Like she just walked out. So initially, my first initial reaction, what I did was I called my mom. So I said, she's home watching TV. I called her. I said, "I'm at the doctor's office." She said, "What's going on?" I said, "They told me that I have cancer." My mom immediately kind of freaks out. She goes, "Are you serious?" Shanti is her favorite line. "Are you serious?" She goes, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And I'm like, "That's what they said, but I don't really know more. I'm gonna just see what happens and I'm gonna call you back." I hang up the phone. So I'm still sitting there. I'm still just like, I don't think at that time I completely grasped the idea of like I have cancer, like, you know what I mean, or this is in my body, or this is what's going on. And I think like you're not really fully understanding what it was or how it was. They didn't give me a type of cancer. They didn't give me anything. They just told me you have cancer. So I'm sitting there, and I think like even when I left that day, there was really no secure plan of what to do. Like there was no secure plan of like what's going to happen down the line or what the plan was. It was just like, "Oh, go see this cancer doctor in this place or whatever, and we'll see." And we discussed, and then it was like, so I found out it was uterine cancer. Now, because at the time I was 21 years old, uterine cancer is typically a cancer that women in their 60s and older get. So they didn't know how to treat it. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know they even had the right resources to give me to be able to treat this cancer. Because I was so young, they didn't know how it would react, my body not being, I guess, old. I don't know the proper terminology, but that's just what I was told. You know what I mean? And I think that being the case, they didn't want to do anything immediately because they had no idea. So I go home. I tell my mom. I tell like my siblings. And I think at the time I still was kind of in shock. It still really didn't hit me for real. I think that I still was just like, "Oh yeah, like this is what they told me." But I wasn't experiencing like, besides like the pain I was enduring, and I think it's always like once you know something, like you're sick, things seem to be worse. I was feeling terrible. Like I was feeling like, so after that day, I want to say I was admitted into the hospital probably like 2 days later. So I pretty much was in like a lot of pain. And then before I left, we did discuss the options of like, freezing eggs and stuff, as far as like if I wanted to maybe later have a baby down the line, because I would need to get a hysterectomy, like because there was no way to save my uterus. Like there was no way to do it because the mass that was there. So let me kind of give you a breakdown of what I was told what was there. So there was a mass the size of maybe a grapefruit. It was in and around my uterus. So different story down the line, but I have been in labor before, so I know what labor pains are like. So pretty much I'm having contractions. Like this is pretty much what it is. This mass that was that big is trying to pass through my uterus. So I'm enduring these pains and pretty much having these contractions. And I think over the time, when I said that I was feeling these pains for 6 months long, they were contractions. And at this time, it was getting worse. Like it was like the pains were like, they were more frequent, and they were just hurting way worse than they were before. So, exactly. So They were pretty much, I'm having like, so for that long, that period of time, I'm having these contractions, I'm having this mass trying to push itself through my body, but it's like the size of a grapefruit. But it was not just in my uterus, but around it also. So there was no way for it to do it, because it's like, there was no way for it possible for it to just pass in my body anyways. Like, who's just passing big grapefruits out of their body? Like, I mean, like, that's like just having a baby, you know? So it was like, it was pretty much the same. And because it wasn't moving, it was attached to my uterus, the pain was just there. It was just so prevalent. And it was all the time. And I think that when I went to the hospital, there was like, oh no, there's nothing we can do. There's no option of saving any eggs. We have to do an emergency surgery. We got to get it out now. Like, so any option I had of like further maybe having any more children was not an option anymore. Any kind of like, and there was no saving my uterus. They literally, and it wasn't like, oh, we could take the uterus, but we'll just leave like the eggs in the fallopian tube and the, what are those things called? Ovaries or whatever. They didn't want to do that. They said, we don't want to risk the chance of it spreading.
Because it's already around your uterus.
Exactly.
So it could be in the ovaries.
Exactly. So they took my ovaries, they took my uterus, the cervix, fallopian tube, whatever. They scraped the fascia. They did anything they could possibly do to make sure the cancer wasn't there. But before I had the surgery, I'm in the hospital. And they wanted me to meet the surgeon before I had the surgery done. So I met him like in the office, because there was like an OB office connected to where I was getting the surgery done. And I had to go down like literally to this office where he was at. And I'm sitting in the waiting room and in the wheelchair with a hospital gown on, crying in tears. Like, I've never probably cried this much ever in my life as much as I was crying this day, because there was no way to get around the pain. So, I'm sitting there, I'm just in pain. I'm just like, there was nothing they could do. Like, nothing that nobody could do at the time. I was just sitting there waiting for the doctor to come. And I think I cried for like hours before I even like saw the doctor, before whatever happened. And I go back up to the room, whatever the case is, and then I had that surgery February 2nd, 2013. And it's one of those things where like you're so young, where like, I think I was so young, like even grasping the idea of like, later on down the line, I want this or I want that. And I knew I want these things for myself. I've always did want these things for myself. But the option of like, having children and giving birth, like I don't have those options anymore. Like it was like, they was like just taken away from me by, and it wasn't choosingly. So, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, it was unexpected. It was very unexpected. And I think that I didn't know how to feel about it. I didn't know, at the time you think like, oh, let's just do what's best that's going to make me better or save my life. Exactly. So I knew, like, because I was still so optimistic about it, like I had a plan. Let me tell you how I had a plan. And I knew my plan wasn't really that, like, it wasn't a good plan. Let's just say that. Because I was thinking, so this was my plan. My plan was, I'm going to go to the hospital this day. I'm going to get the surgery this day. I'm going to start my semester 2 weeks late so I can still pass my classes on time. I don't need to like withdraw from the semester. Everything's going to be fine. I called the university. I asked about how many classes I could miss. I asked all these questions to make sure it was still feasible for me to go back to school, like, and still complete my semester without having to take the semester off. And everybody was looking at me like, that's a far reach, And to be honest, it wasn't feasible. There was no way I was going to recover in the amount of time of that I was trying to, like, do this stuff. You know what I mean? And then, like, there was, like, radiation and things like that I had to get done. So, yeah, like I had, like, a wisdom tooth pulled or something. Like, I wasn't thinking about the idea of, like, you got cancer. Exactly. So, I think I was just thinking about it in the mirror, like it wasn't like, not like it wasn't a big deal. Initially, I'm thinking like, this is feasible. Like I could fix this. Initially, I was thinking like, like we could fix this. Like I don't need to, like I was thinking like, oh well, I could just surgery. It don't take that long to heal from surgery. I'll be fine. We had a, and it wasn't. It was nothing like that. It was nothing how I wanted it to be. Nothing how what I thought I was going to be like have ahead of me. Like, yeah, like the experience is way different than I ever thought it would ever be. And I think like this is, and I wanted to tell this story because, to be honest, like I feel like 90% of my family don't even know that this was happening to me. Like, and there was a lot going on that time, that year and that time. And I think that like nobody never knew I was going through this. Never knew that this was something that was like my life pretty much.
Y'all wanna know how she told me? Let me tell you how she told me. Look, so this was the beginning of our friendship, right? And I'm in the bathroom. She used to do my hair, used to do sew-ins, braids, and shit. And I'm in the bathroom looking at my inches and shit. And I go, and there's all this medicine in her. And I'm like, me being all goofy and shit. Bitch, what the fuck is all this medicine for? What, you got cancer? This bitch said, not no more. What? What the fuck did you just say?
I'm fine now. As long as I take my medication, I'm fine now. You know, and that's what it is. Like, yeah, I take medication every day. As long and I'm so yeah. I mean, and I don't know if she cried then, but she cried.
No, I cried then. I was drunk too.
Oh yeah, and she started crying. Yeah, and then like she cried like, then again on New Year's. I forget, and then I forget what happened.
It was the baby.
Oh yeah, she probably.
So yeah, there was a lot of crying in our friendship. For real, for real.
Yeah, so
That's how the fuck she told her best friend that she had cancer before.
Not anymore. The fuck?
Because I think like I respond to things in a manner people don't expect, and I think that I tend not to show that much emotion to a lot of things, but and it's just this is just how I handle things, just how I approach things. So I think that's what it is. But I had like a really long recovery. I was in the hospital for a good 3+ weeks or so. I will say I felt loved. I really did. I keep saying I'm thinking. I'm just trying to like, I don't know. Like it was a lot going on. Like it just the cancer itself, emotionally wise, just family relationship wise, everything was just like relationship wise for sure, right? So it was unexpected for me, and then how everything happened. It happened entirely nothing too fast, but it happened really quickly. Like with the surgery, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and I think that I was having a lot of thinking like, what's next? Like, where does this put me? Where does this leave me? How do I go from here? And even when I went home, like I couldn't lay in the bed. I slept on a couch for a couple of weeks, maybe like 2. Then when I could get in the bed, I still couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. Like I literally laid in the bed all day for like weeks, like before I was finally able to like get up and do stuff. And then it was just like I don't think I felt depressed. I don't think I felt like sad about it.
It probably wasn't like a full blown depression, but it might have been some type of depression because you're so independent. For you to be stuck in a bed for weeks, not being able to do shit for yourself, that can depress you.
So that was like a experience that I'd never ever experienced before. Like, well, besides recently I had my surgery, but like being able, not being able to get up and do things and go to work and things like that bothered me. Someone having to like do things for me, couldn't do it myself, can't make my own money. That was like an experience I never like.
For an independent woman,
it was terrible.
That can definitely lead to depression.
I feel like I cried like almost every day, to be honest. And it's gonna sound like probably real cliche. This is not like an entry video for nothing, but to be honest, like, and I say that because literally, like, some of the things that got me through every day, I did like puzzles every day, and I watched Ellen every single day. And I say this, and I be like laughing and joking about it, but I really did. Like, it was just certain things that I expected about my day that made me feel better. And watching Ellen and doing my puzzles and just like minor things like that was what was getting me through for real. Like, but but like I still. Oh no! I'm sorry. I was hot. No. You're right. But I still did like I cried every single day. I had like moments where it was like, you don't know what to do or where to go or how to handle things. And I think that I'll say like I'm not gonna say like I'll say I don't know. Because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. And then it was like I did like, even after the surgery, I had like appointments like weekly, like they were like all the time. And then it was like I had to do like I did like radiation. I didn't need chemo because they took out everything. So if they didn't take out everything, it would be a different process. You know, it would be a different experience for me. But because
They had to like for it to just delete by itself without.
yeah, exactly. Like if they just chose to leave my uterus, it would be an entirely different experience that I would have experienced. And I think that being that young and making that decision is one of those things that you don't know. And I think that being like people being that young, you don't really know whether what you want for your future, or if you want to have children, if you want things like that. But I knew that I did. But I knew that I wanted to live. I knew that I wanted to be healthy and things like that. So for me, it was like, oh, like what options do I have? It wasn't what options would I have. It was the only option I had. It was the only option I was given. Like I wasn't really given a choice. It was just like, when do you want your hysterectomy? Like when do you want this to happen? Like, so in the manner of like, in the way they put it was like, you have to get it taken out. Like it's life or death. There's no waiting. Like even the fact that like when I went to the hospital, it was like in emergency surgery, they was like, oh well, we didn't expect it to progress this rapidly. Like we didn't expect for you to be here a couple days later, and this is what we got. Like so, nobody really knew what to expect at the time. And I think that like being like I didn't either, but I just knew I knew I wanted to live. You know, I knew that much. Do that one forward. I knew that I wanted to live. Yeah, and yeah. And I think if I think of it in that manner, that I knew that is, I think that's what it was like. You need to do it. You know, whether you want to or not, whether they make it, whether you're able to freeze your eggs or not, or have children down the line. Like I thought about that, but it was like, no, like that's what you got to do. And I had to like really do what was best for me, I guess. You know what I mean? And thinking about possibilities that may never come. So I couldn't think about the possibilities that may never come, but think about myself, because that was all I got was myself. I can't think about, you know, if I may or may not have children at the time, because that wasn't something that was going to like be a guarantee. But my life, you know, was. You know what I mean? So I just didn't. I don't know. It's a hard topic. Like it's a hard situation. I think that I'm happy in a sense of like I can say like, yeah, it's been 6 years and I don't have cancer. Like I'm happy that I can say that. I'm happy that I have the opportunity to say things like that, because me going through what I did, as long as I take my medication, as long as I'm you know, I do see the geriatric optometrist. Say that 3 times fast, right?
Say that once.
Right, I couldn't say it. Then I think that I'm okay, and I'm gonna check in. You know, I see a doctor and things like that. And I mean, I'm not ashamed of what I've been through. I'm not like, I don't ever try to like hide the fact that I've been through it. I don't mind talking about it. I think other people get emotional about it more than I do, because of like that's rough. Like it's cancer. Like it's rough. Like it ain't like, oh, I had a cold. You know, it's nothing like simple. Is that right? Okay. So I remember waking up one day, and and mind you, by this part, I was laying in the bed for a long time, or I just was going through a lot of like the recovery portion, to where I was waking up and my hair was literally falling out. Like I was like running my hands through my hair, and like clumps of hair was coming out of my hands. And I wasn't thinking nothing about it. I'm thinking my hair just shedding. I never actually like felt my hair to feel that there's no hair here. And it was like, huh?
The fallout. The first place where there fallout. Your back.
The back, yeah. And I was like, I would run my fingers through my hair all the time, but my hair wasn't like, you know, it was just out. So I remember the one day I was like combing through my hair, and it was like clumps of hair coming out of my comb, and I didn't understand, like, oh my god, like my hair is actually like falling out. And I remember putting my hands in the back of my head, and there was a legit bald spot, like just probably the whole middle of my head was a big bald spot about like this big. I remember just touching it and feeling it, like it was just this smooth, like it was just hair was never even there. Probably want to do baby wash. Grandma, I get it.
That was a big thing because
That-
it was all about your hair.
Yeah, like that was a big thing for me in a sense, cause like I yeah, like I love my hair. Like I always like, you know, I do hair. I always was about my hair and how it looked and having my hair a certain kind of way. So the fact that my hair was falling out, I didn't have any, was really detrimental for how I think, like how I felt overall. I think that I will say if I ever did feel depressed about anything, it was about that. Like that was what I maybe felt like where, yeah, like, you know, and understand that I was really going through something at the time, and it really was like something that was like taking a toll on everything like that was prevalent to me in my life at the time. Like everything was just like, and it was like, I think when I first felt it, I cried. Like I sat there and I cried and I cried and I cried, and like I knew that I knew that it was a possibility my hair could start falling out, and I just, but you know, you don't want to like think about the negative things that can happen. You want to think about the positive, like, oh well, you know, you don't have the cancer anymore, or things will be better now, or you don't have to go through chemo, but you got to do this, you got to do radiation, you got to take medication. And so, and the fact that the idea of me taking medication every day the rest of my life bothers me anyway. So, but I can't do anything about it. If I want my life to live, if I want to live, I choose to do that because I want my life, right? But it was just like, that was just like, I don't know, like it was something that I just, like, my hair was just like, that was really it for me. And I just was like, oh my God, this is just like, it's taking a toll on everything that involves me in my life right now is just being affected by cancer.
Pretty much.
And it was,
And to be that young and then your hair fall out.
yeah,
like,
it was rough. Like,
thing that's when it probably hit you. You start crying. That's when you probably got emotional and thinking about it. It's because it's your hair. Like my crybaby ass, I had some kinky twists in my hair. I took that bitch out and my hair was still in there. I cried for 3 days. My hair is falling out. Imagine your hair really coming out like in chunks and there's nothing there. That shit is terrifying. Like
it was
a black girl with her hair. That's like her child. Like
no, for real.
just oh no.
And it was rough. Like it was a whole. If you watch my hair story, you know how I feel about my hair. It said that's on my YouTube channel as well, so you can go watch it too. But it was an experience in itself. It was something that I think that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my life as it is now and what I've been through then, and how things are for me now. But going through so much, like at that time, when I was going through a bunch of other things, it was just like everything was just like coming down on me all at once, and I think I just didn't know how to cope with a lot of stuff. And it took a while, like it really did. But once I got up, you know, once I was able to do stuff and I was out of like, you know, my wounds healed up. And then, not to mention, so they put staples in it, right? And then I went to the hospital again and they took the staples out. It opened up. So they took the staples out. And then maybe 2-3 days later, I'm back in the hospital because the bottom part of it opened. Like, it was
where it was placed,
split like about this much open, like just open at the bottom. Like, I probably could show you my scar, but I probably wouldn't show you my scar at the same time. Show you half of it maybe, but it was just open, and I had to go to the hospital, and they did like a I guess like an MRI, CAT scan, and I said MRI, a CAT scan, to check and everything, to look at it and everything. They ran some more surgeries and ran some more tests and everything, but they didn't want to like physically close it back up. They said, oh, it'll close on its own, but yeah, like it'll heal, you know. That scared me. Like, that scared me. I'm thinking like, oh my God, my organs gonna fall out, and I was just like,
sound just like my stomach gonna fall out this big ass hole.
yeah, it was big. It was like, and my sister she took a picture and looked in there, and I do have pictures of like my scars and all that kind of stuff, but you don't want to see that stuff. Like, you don't want to see that stuff. Trust me. But it's like on it's on the computer. I gotta like look through the flash drives and stuff. Like, I could probably show you my scar, or at least some of it. Let me see if I can get a good view right here. Right here, it goes all the way down here, here, and it goes down farther, but we're not about to get into all of that. that's part of my scar. So like it's a very long scar. It's like literally like my entire. It's huge, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world because it just reminds me of what I've been through, where I've been, and what I've overcome. So I'm grateful for my scar at this point because it's just a representation of like, yeah, like what I've been through. You know, that's why I got this tattoo. This is my Stand Up to Cancer tattoo. So and people always ask me what it means or make jokes, but like this is just important to me. You know, so. But, okay, so I want to end this now because I'm gonna end this now. I think that I've said mostly everything, and I think I just wanted to like just tell my story, whether it be the full story or not, because clearly I mentioned other things in this story that you may have some questions about. When I mentioned being in labor before, and she mentioned the baby, that's a different story, different time. We'll get there. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, a whole nother experience.
A whole nother hurt piece.
Yeah, so we can touch on that at a different time. Thank you for watching this video.
I hope this like help anybody that's going through something like that.
They can hear you saying it, so if you're saying it, then I don't need to say it then.
I hope this gives people courage to tell their stories, because I mean, especially young girls, to go through something like this young is, I don't know how the hell she did it. I would have fucking died. But she did it, and she made it, and she's here. And I'm happy she's here because, you know, my baby got the best godmom. But I hope this really helped other people to just feel comfortable about what they're going through, because she's so comfortable about what she's going through that she decided to tell y'all her story. And it's been 6 years. That's a long time. And there's older women that got fucking cancer and still hurting, or had cancer and still hurting and not able to speak on it. And sometimes you gotta tell your story to even get over certain shit like that. So, this was a good video.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like, I'm happy that I told this story. And I said before that I wanted to tell my cancer story before, and I like, cause a lot of people don't know that this is something I was going through, something I experienced. But trust me, I know. Like, I have a 12-inch scar on my stomach that tells me that this is what I went through, and I look at it every day. I touch it every day to remind me that I survived for real. Like, that's pretty much what I look at it. Like, I touch it But I mean, that's what I think of. Like, I touch it all the time. It reminds me, like this is what I went through, but that doesn't define who I am. It doesn't, you know, make or break my personality. It don't make me sad or depressed. It just makes me feel like
it's not taking over your life.
It doesn't. If anything, I prepare and overcome anything I've been through to the effect of where I strive for just greatness and to be better than the person that I was before. Like, and I say that in the sense of like I'm gonna always be a better me, you know. But
and because you was given a second chance, because anything could have happened.
Exactly.
If they didn't take it out when they took it out, it might have been too late.
If I didn't leave Atlanta that day and if I didn't leave Atlanta that day and come home and go to the hospital, like, you never know what my outcome would have been. Like, you never know. And I'm glad I was like in that much pain, to be honest. And
because she don't speak on pain at all. She don't go to the hospital. The bitch would be walking around with a broken leg, for real, and be like, I'm okay. So the fact that she went to the hospital.
So, but the funny thing about it is, you know what? I thought I had alcohol poisoning. That's part of the reason I went to the hospital. Like, I drank that much in Atlanta. Like, and for the people who was there, they know. Like, I drank that much in Atlanta. I thought I had alcohol poisoning. That was part of the reason I went to the hospital. But I was also in this really bad pain. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, oh, my head's hurting, my stomach is hurting. I think I was still like drunk 3 days later. It was real bad. But it was more so like I was just like in a lot of pain. So I got grateful for that experience in itself, and then go from in Atlanta and coming home and going to the hospital, you know. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Thank you for just listening to me talk. If you stayed through this whole video, I appreciate you, because it's like 30 minutes long. But I'm grateful that I'm grateful to say that it's been 6 years and I'm cancer free and I survived. Like I am, you know. And as long as I take my medication, I see my doctor, and I'm okay, you know. So thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you for coming and stopping by and listening to me talk. Don't forget to follow my socials. That's flawless_me with 3 E's. That's Instagram and Snapchat. Say bye, Shay.